Hello everyone, welcome back to Cotswold Bees. We're here on a beautiful spring day in the Cotswolds. It's about 19 degrees C, and for those of you who use Fahrenheit, well, you'll need to convert that yourself, I'm afraid. And it's beautiful. The bees are flying really well, and we're ready to do our first inspection of the year. Now we've got a hive in the garden apiary that we can use. What I've done with that hive is purely and simply to take the mouse guard off and also to put a queen excluder on. I haven't done anything else, haven't gone into the brood box or seen if they're actually doing well, the queen's laying. I'm leaving that for us to do together. I think the queen's okay because I've seen a lot of pollen going in. There's quite a lot of blossom around at the moment. I'm sitting underneath this beautiful cherry tree, which they've been absolutely hammering over the last few days. And also there's plenty of hedgerow blossom around as well. So fingers crossed, hopefully they're doing well. I've had my cake and cup of tea. The cake was lemon drizzle, so I'm all ready to go. And so let's go over to the hive and do our first inspection of 2025. How exciting. Come with me. Here we are at the hive. You can see the bees are flying really freely. In fact, there's a load of pollen going in there. You got that, Carol? We'll keep an eye out. There'll be some more going in at some point, I'm sure. And all I've done is I took the mouse guard off. Unfortunately, I've slightly pulled the entrance block out, so we'll fix that in a minute. Bees flying really well. We're often asked, how do I know if it's warm enough to inspect my bees? Well, the answer is very simple. Let the bees tell you. If they're flying really well like this, then it's fine to inspect. If they're all hunkered down, then it doesn't matter what the temperature is, leave them alone. These are flying really well, and so far so good. That's what we want to see. There was some pollen going in. It's mid-afternoon, so pollen tends to dry up a little bit about that sort of time, tend to be more nectar, but there was some going in, and hopefully that indicates that we've got a laying queen. Oh, here's one back with pollen now on her legs. So you can see her there. She's brought some pollen back. I think that's hawthorn, but please don't bet anything on it. It probably is. So let's have a look inside. I say the mouse guard's off, and we'll now have a look and see how it's going. So as usual, just the tiniest bit of smoke in the front, just to let them know we're coming, and we can begin opening up. So if you want to come round here, Carol, because you're in the front at the moment, come round and stand by my side. We'll take the roof off. And we've got an empty super here, because we were feeding them at the end of the year. Here's the queen excluder that I'm going to put on. And you can see here, this is where they had a patty of fondant, and they've completely emptied that. So we'll just take this old super off that was on there to protect the fondant. I always put the same queen excluder back on the same hive. So here we go, very gently. So this is stuck down. We very gently do this, trying not to make any sudden movements or vibrations. Gently peel this off, and we can have a look and see what's going on underneath. So plenty of bees here, which is looking good. And we can take out the dummy board so that we can get at that first frame without rolling bees. Now this is looking extremely good. Just from looking down into the hive, I can see that pretty much every one of these frames has been filled with something. So if all's going according to plan, fingers crossed, we might even get to the stage where we need to put a super on. You can see lots of propolis here. That's all there, good stuff. And let's begin by inspecting our hive. So as usual, pinching it there, I'm right-handed, pinching it with my left hand, very gently opening it up. Can you see the propolis here where they've actually glued the two frames together? And it's a nice warm day, so that propolis is quite nice and soft. Same on the other side. Take this out very gently, and what we can see is they've been incredibly busy. All this nectar here, beautifully stored, and they're converting it into honey. You can see where they've started to cap it. Large amounts of nectar there. And what we can see here, this is terribly exciting. These larger cells on the bottom here are drone cells, but if you look inside you can actually see the eggs. So the hive is starting to think about raising drones. Maybe it's already raised some further up. So that means it's doing well, but not only does it mean it's doing well, but it means that it won't be long until they're thinking about swarming. So here are the eggs, the tiny little grains of rice in those cells there. And we can tell they're drones, they're male bees, because look at the size of the cells here versus the cells of the normal size cells that are here. So we have a quick look, no sign of the queen on there, but this is full of nectar. Pop that on the side, so I've got some space to play with. Let's have a look at the next one. This is a weight. Here we can see we've got some honey on here. I'm just looking. So look at a frame, look at it this side first, up to the vertical, turn it away from you, look at it upside down here, which means that we won't end up with any spillage of nectar. And again, very, very exciting. I don't know if you can see this or how well you can see this. If Carol goes really close into those cells, there is in fact an egg in every one of those cells, so the queen's been laying really well. And not only that, here we have a drone. So if you can come up here, Carol, there we go. There's the first drone of the season. You can just see him going down.
Not sure if I've got him.
Yeah, there he is.
Oh, right.
Big waddly chap here. And you can see here a bee with some greeny, yellowy pollen on her. It's all going well so far. And can you see the pollen stored in here? These cells, if I put my hive tool the other way around, I think, there we go. You can just see there the green pollen. So all looking pretty good so far. Take the next one out, again same thing, very gently. You'll notice we haven't had to use any smoke other than that tiny bit we put in the front. So that's all looking good. Here we go, lots of brood here. You can see all the capped brood here. So this is where the larvae are changing into bees. And if you look here in these cells here, if you can get nice and close to these, Carol, you can actually see larvae that haven't yet been capped. Here's another big drone here. Another one there. Drones about. Can't be far away from thinking about swarm season. Looking on this side, look at all the bees here, and look at all the capped larvae. Every one of those will be a new bee in a few days' time. Again, if you want to look under bees, just very gently place your hand on them. They'll move out the way for you ever so gently. Don't need smoke. You can see here these triangles. This is where the wires run in the frames, and the queen hasn't laid in there because they haven't been sterilised properly yet by the bees. Every other one has got a larva in it and an arc of honey across the top. So it's all looking very good. Honestly, I didn't set this one up. Hopefully all the others will look like this. Mind you, we haven't gone through it all yet. We might find all sorts of things yet. Never count your chickens until they're hatched. So here, again, all looking good. And if I look on this side, you can see loads of drone cells, these big bumpy cells here. Now here, we've got a wax moth tunnel. You can see the top of the wax moth tunnel. So if I scrape this, I might actually be able to find the wax moth larva underneath there. In fact, there it is. There it is. And sometimes we just have to tap the side and it comes out, and grab that. There we go. And the birds can have a wax moth larva for their tea. Another one there actually. There it is. And there we go. Birds can have that one for their tea as well. So a little bit of wax moth after the winter is nothing to get excited about. Lots of pollen up here as well. all looking really good. Have a look on the other side. Again, lots and lots of bees on there. This frame's a bit old. It's got lots of brood in it at the moment, but I might try and swap it when this brood has emerged. You can tell it's old because the wax is darker. You can also tell it's the first inspection of the season because my back's starting to play up a bit. And there we go, lots of bees again. Same thing, rather dark. Could probably do with changing that one as well as soon as I'm able to. Lots of larvae in the centre here, all looking very healthy, curled up in the bottom of the cell in the sea, and that lovely pearly white colour. Over here we've got lots of drone larvae. You can see the domes. Haven't seen any signs of queen cells yet, so no sign as yet that they're thinking about swarming, but you never know. I'm just going to go down on my knees a bit here. Old age setting in. Here we go with this one. Again, a little bit dark. I'd like to change this one as well at some point. Those of you into this sort of thing, there's a drone here emerging. Here he comes. You can see those huge bulging eyes. Sign of a drone. Here he comes, hauling himself out. It's always good to look at drones because if you've got a varroa problem, it will show itself up on the drones. This one looks absolutely fine. I can't see any signs of varroa mite, and his wings are perfect. So that's a good sign. I'm very happy with that. I think there's another one cutting himself out down there. There are boys appearing all over the place at the moment. It's a bit of a boy fest. He's looking in good shape as well. No sign of varroa mite, good wings, nice and fat and juicy. That's the way we want them. Oh, another wax moth larva tunnel there. We'll see if we can do anything with that. There's the larva. There. Get rid of that one. Nothing else. No other larva underneath there. That's good. Haven't seen the queen yet. I'm not bothered though. I've seen eggs. I know she's in here. It'd be quite nice to see her.
What colour is it this year, Chris?
Well, this year is blue. But last year was green, and she's a last year queen, so she should be marked green. I've got my green pen in my pocket just in case I spot her and she needs remarking. No sign of her as yet. So if you want to remember the marking colours, it's white, yellow, red, green, blue. Will you raise good bees? So last year green for good, and this year B for bees, or blue for bees. Well, B for bees as well, but actually B for blue. Blue stands for bees. And if you got all of that drivel, well done. It's just blue this year, okay? Look at the drones here, really nice and fat and juicy. Another one there. That's a sign of health in drones. If you've got stunted drones, that's a sign you've got a problem. And loads of drone brood here. So this will be absolutely full of drones soon. So these are some newer frames that I put in at the end of last year, and they're a bit stuck together in the middle there, which is a bit of a pain. But there we go. All drone brood there. If I'd pulled that one first without seeing anything else, I'd be a little bit worried that we got a drone laying queen. This is all normal worker brood here, females. We've seen lots of worker brood, so I'm not worried. Lots of worker brood on this side. No sign of any queen cells as yet. This is all pretty much full now. This one's got loads of pollen in it, a little bit of brood. More drones. A hole in the middle where I damaged it pulling this one out, they'll put that right. Eggs in every one of these cells here, larva here, and then capped brood here. All very good. And then just this last frame here. And again, larva in all of those cells there. I don't know if you can get those in the middle there, Carol, but there's larva in all of those cells. And then pollen in the ones towards me. And then right at the top, which is now the bottom, you've got honey. You've got an arc of honey, capped honey. And this is all honey on this side, or all nectar I should say, apart from a little bit of brood in there. So if anything, she's starting to run out of room to lay in here. Well, let's have a quick flip back through here. I'm not going to spend too long, but if we can find the queen, we'll find her. And I'm just literally looking for the queen now on every frame I go through. If we can find her, great. If we can't, it doesn't matter, because we know she's in here because we've got eggs. We know she's in here at least the last 3 days. The temperament's good, she's in here somewhere, but actually finding the queen, whilst the most exciting thing, is not necessary. If you've got all these indications, then this is a right mess, this one. I'll have to change this. Then you know you've got a queen. That's the main thing. You don't have to find her. As I say, it's exciting to find her, but you don't have to.
Will you have to put another super on there?
Yeah, we're going to put a super on because they've filled this brood box and there's a good flow of nectar at the moment. Forecast for the next few days as well is good. Not quite as good as it has been. There's a little bit of rain forecast, but there's the queen. There she is there, and she's neither marked nor clipped. So I didn't. She's a new queen at the end of last year. So keep your eye on her, Carol. I've got to take my glove off for this. Oh dear. Okay. So I've lost her now as well.
Is that her?
No. No.
See, I'm hopeless.
She's gone.
That's a drone, isn't that big thing?
Yeah, I just literally. There she is. There she is. So now I've got her by the wing. There we go. Hang on to her there. I can mark her. Got to find my pen. And just pop a nice blob on her head. So she's not clipped. I haven't got my scissors in my pocket, but I will clip her. But I just want to mark her at this stage. There she is. And I can just pop her in there, pop her back in there. And there she is. Right as rain. So now we've seen everything. So that's good news. We can put everything back together again. All is well. There we go. And again, it's the old story. If you need lots of smoke, something's wrong. We don't need lots of smoke, we just needed that little bit at the beginning. Pop all this back together again. Pop dummy board back. Now we can pop the queen excluder in as well. Here's the queen excluder. Put this on at right angles to the frames if you've got a national hive, and I can just pop over and go and get myself a super. Just hang on there, pop that on. I'm using new frames. I want them to pull as much comb out as possible this time of the year, and also of course because we sell mostly comb honey, we don't have a lot of drawn comb anyway. So that's all of that. I can pop the crown board back on, take the old plastic bag off that had the fondant in, just get rid of any bees that are in there, and that's all jolly good. And then pop the roof on, and there we go. First inspection of the year. Hopefully you enjoyed that. We're going to do lots more. I'm going to carry on and just do these other 2 hives that we've got in the garden and make sure everything's okay there. If you enjoyed it, please give us a like, and if you're not subscribed, please subscribe, and you'll get notice of when the next videos come up. If you want to be super generous, there's a buy me a coffee link down below, so if you fancy buying me a coffee to go with my cake, that's always really appreciated, and we've got quite a few very generous people. And also there'll be a link down in the description to the newsletter. So hopefully you've enjoyed that. Hopefully you learned something there with your own bees, or if you haven't got bees yet, that you've in a position to think about starting. And if all the season goes as well as this inspection's gone, not only will I be stunned and amazed, but it will be fantastic. This one has gone absolutely to plan. Who knows? Nothing ever goes 100% to plan with bees, or with anything else in life for that matter. So we just keep on inspecting, making sure our bees are healthy, and hopefully we're going to have some honey. Hopefully we'll have some spring honey, and we can start looking at some comb fairly soon. So thanks again for watching. See you again next time.